Good morning. Today is March 30th. It is our final lesson of the month, and because of that, it's going to be a little bit shorter than usual because we're going to be having our main composer of the month assignment and our actual one-on-one lessons when I give you your test. Maybe you've taken it, maybe you haven't. Depends on when you watch this. But that's why we don't have much of an assignment. But to kind of tie it all in together and end Beethoven on a good note, I want to kind of combine the composer of the month with the word of the week. So go ahead and get out your binder and turn to the glossary. And we're going to be doing 2 words. Now, the reason we're doing 2 words is because we're looking at the piece Moonlight Sonata. And Moonlight Sonata is written in Adagio sostenuto. Now, that's 2 words that make one phrase, similar to saying bright green. Not that those two are related, but just whenever we think of adjectives or directions to tell you what something may look or sound like, we combine 2 words. So it's the same thing here. Adagio, sostenuto, they mean 2 separate things, but together they make a musical direction. So the first word, if you want to go ahead and go to your A's, is adagio. You're going to spell that A-D-A-G-I-O. And that means slowly and stately. Literally, it means at ease. So just slow and it is what it is. Okay? The next one is, go ahead and turn to your S's. S. It is sostenuto. And it means sustained. Sometimes with the slackening of tempo. So it means you can be a little dramatic with it and you're really taking your time and getting it done. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what that tempo sounds like. Many of us have already heard it, but just to kind of tie it all together. So stop there on that missed note. But that's the gist of it. It's just really slow. It's really sustained. So make sure you write down those 2 words for Moonlight Sonata in your word of the week glossary. Okay, the next thing I just want to reemphasize on is you need to be practicing your scales every single time before you play your song. Parents! If you're adults, I'm sorry. Parents, if you're listening, your child should be playing their scale before they play their song every single time they sit down. Now, that doesn't mean every time they repeat, they need to play their scale again. Just when they first sit down at the bench, they need to do their scale. Now, last week, we learned our G major scale. And I'll try to show it to you again. I'm not going to be able to show it to you as good as I did last week, but just when we get our hands in G position, and we start at the lowest finger on each hand, and it's really important not only that they get the notes, but that they keep the tempo. Okay, so every single note is about 1 tap. You can download a metronome app if it helps you keep the time easier. But this just kind of does some reinforcement. I want them to also do the G we've been doing. We just learned G major. Just keep in mind what C major is. They're the same thing, as far as pattern and fingering. They're just at different places on the piano. So C major, and then G major. And it's just important that we remember those as we progress and as we go on. What is C major? What is G major? Now, it may seem pointless or it may just seem like a silly warm-up, but as we progress in piano, it actually becomes really important to know those things because we are able to improvise and we're able to know what chords go together, what songs go together, and what just shouldn't go together because it's not part of the scale. It's especially useful as we get into more advanced reading. So make sure you're practicing your scales. Make sure whenever you practice them, you're saying what the name of them are. That way, you're just prepared in general. Okay, so that was our little bit of our composer of the month. And we've already done our word of the week. Am I missing anything? Yes. We are missing our compose assignment. So hang on for just a moment while I grab a handy dandy pen and we will go ahead and we'll write down what our composition assignment is. Okay. So for this, you're going to go to your compose tab in your folder and we are going to spend some time just talking about, I'm going to give you the assignment, and then I'm going to show you in depth how to set something like that up. So I want you to go to the composition assignment. Under date assigned, write 3-30. The name of the piece is what's next, and you do that yourself after you write it. The number of measures is going to be 4. Let's not have a repeat, so you're going to circle N for no. Under the key signature, we're going to write 4-4. And that means that there's 4 beats in every single measure. So 4 beats can be divided in a whole bunch of different ways. You can have one whole note, because a whole note gets 4 counts, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can have 4 quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can have a half note, which gets 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. See? Half note, 2 quarter notes. So you kind of get to decide what counts and what notes you're playing. That's up to you. But I'm telling you where those notes need to be in the next part, the position. So I'm going to say, let's do it in C position. And let's just do the bass clef. So that is going to be C, D, E, F, and G. And I'm going to show you what those 5 notes only should be. Let's make it loud. Loud is forte, notated with an F. I'm going to give you the creativity this week. You can choose your tempo. You can decide if you want it to be a fast song, a slow song, happy, etc. I'm going to give you creativity on the rest of it as well. So once you've done that, you are going to title it. Don't forget to do it in your manuscript book. If you don't have one yet, you should order it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what 5 notes we should have. So this is my paddle board. We're going to pretend these are the lines on your paper. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to draw that bass clef, because that's what we're doing. We're doing the bass clef. And we know there's 4 measures. So we can go ahead and do 1 measure, 2, 3, and at the end of every song, we always do a double bar line. You also want to go ahead and write your time signature. We know the time signature is 4/4, right? So that tells us again there needs to be 4 counts. It doesn't matter how we add it up or how we get to the 4 counts, but there needs to be 4 counts. So we know it's in C position. So on left hand, I'm going to erase this just so you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to show you the 5 notes that are in C position and where your hand should be. So there's C, that's C, D, E, F, and G. See, there's C, D, E, F, and G. And I'm going to show you on the piano where that will be. So we have our left hand, because it's bass clef, we have C, D, E, F, G. So those are the only 5 notes and the only place our hand should be, right there in C position. When you press the C, you should be writing this C down. So that should be helpful. The next one is, let's say we're going to do, I'm thinking. I can't even think of an example that I was going to give right now. But the whole point is we just want to keep these 5 notes, C, D, E, F, G, and those are the only 5 we play. So I should not see any notes on this paddle board that are not those 5. So I should not see a note. I should not see this note or this note or a note down here or a note up here. These are the only 5 notes I should see. And that is basically the wrap up of this week. I hope this information was valuable to you, and I look forward to starting Bach with you next week. Good luck on your test if you haven't taken it already, and y'all have a great week.